Yesterday, I teased the North Carolina decision, the Supreme Court. I think Sarah mentioned it as well. In some ways, I mean, the Supreme Court, I don't know if it's accurate to say that it decided. It was, as you know, I think it was the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which deals with North Carolina and a couple other states around there. Said that North Carolina's voter suppression law that was passed, I believe it was in 2013 or 2013, I think it was, would not be implemented and will not take effect because this federal appeals court found that the law itself not only had the effect, a discriminatory effect, but it was designed for the very purpose of making it harder for African Americans to cast a ballot. Like, that was its intent. And North Carolina appealed this decision to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court voted 4-4 in terms of whether or not the circuit court's ruling would be upheld. And because it's tied, the circuit court ruling holds because there's no Supreme Court, essentially, decision to overturn it. The idea that 4 justices would vote to overturn this ruling when the facts, because they don't judge the facts, right? They just take the facts as determined by the lower courts. The facts are that this law was designed to suppress black votes is pretty stunning. And it just goes, it's just one more example, ladies and gentlemen, of the unprecedented nature of one man dying and enfranchising so many people's rights. Rights to vote, rights to organize in a public sector union. I mean, we could go on, but it also raises the stakes of the election. And here is something that, in light of this Supreme Court ruling, 4-4 sends it back down to the, or it doesn't even send it back down. It means that the Court of Appeals ruling holds. North Carolina will not be able to use these voter suppression tactics. So you have a guy over at Fox now in the non-Roger Ailes era. And we're starting to see this, right? We're starting to see the cracks over there. And to be fair, Shepard Smith, even since Katrina, I think it was Katrina, which really did it for him, has been off the reservation, and they've allowed it. But now I think he's even getting bolder. And this is driving the right wing insane. Here's what Shep Smith said about this North Carolina. Was this about the North Carolina ruling? Yeah.
What he says, that's next. And we've just gotten an AP News alert out of the state of North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina, Associated Press, and I quote, "The U.S. Supreme Court refuses to restore North Carolina's GOP-backed voter ID and its reduction in early voting days." North Carolina had put in one of those you have to show an ID rules, which so often in Republican states are designed to keep some minorities from coming out and being able to vote. And they have tried to reduce the number of voting days. The U.S. Supreme Court says that will not happen. Those rules will not go into effect in North Carolina this cycle.
Oh, Shep Smith in a moment of candor and makes millions of right-wing heads explode.
That was great too, because he just did the straight read on it.
No,
like,
no, he did the straight read, but
this.
In the middle,
Yeah.
then he just said, like, and that's with Republicans trying to suppress minorities' votes. Oh my God, did I say that? Guess who I will not get a memo from today? Roger Ailes.
Yeah, Roger Ailes would have been
Oh,
sort of like
all over that.
mid-harassment session. Spat the disgusting cigar out of his mouth and shrugged down the hallway to get on that.
Hello, you. I'm Sam Cedar. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.